Patricia Freudenberg. I am the CEO of Michigram. Also, I want to share that CEO in this regards stands for Chief Evangelist, which is to share the good word and be ambassador for the brand. Thank you for joining us if this is your first time, and thank you for supporting us if you are a return viewer. We do rotate topics of discussion, and today is share, one of my favorites, but really they're all my favorites, and that's why I do this, to build a community for our well-being and support each other. So we rotate among tribute, cope, and share, and today I'm going to be sharing something that I think we've all heard of. Regardless of the denomination that you may be from, we are a global community. I was born in America, first generation, and I'm going to share a little bit about me, a little bit more. My first language was Spanish, and here I am speaking English. And I'm going to talk today about something that was brought up in one of the clubs I participate in. Again, it's a community and it's for unity and support. And the club is called the Creative Art. I'm sorry. It's the creativity group in Clubhouse, and it was very, very exciting to join Clubhouse and explore this new platform, which is only voice-based. You can't see people unless you go to their other links and profiles. And today I want to bring that up because at the end of the closing, when I was in this club, everybody had to say a word of the day. And the word that came to me was light. And light can mean a lot of things, but we all know what it is. And for me, that was one of the reasons why when I created this butterfly for the logo, I picked the light to represent the letters, which is, for me, it represented like our insides, our soul, our energy that, you know, pumps our blood and keeps us alive. And that represents the light. And the black is a shell, and we all have a shell. And once that shell is gone, that light is forever. But I took it one step deeper when I was putting together material for the show. And then I decided to share this instead of what I had planned. And I'll share what I had planned on another episode that we do share. But because of the topic of discussion that I had this morning, I was enlightened, pardon the pun, and what came to mind was that in this book called the Bible. Now, I'm not teaching religion, and I, first of all, want to disclose, even though I promote well-being, I am a licensed beautician and esthetician, and I do not have a medical license for any type of treatment, whether it's psychological or physical. You know, I like to do this just to build community support. And so going back to sharing today light and the Bible. So it's interesting that, you know, this book right here is probably one of the most sold books in the world, regardless of what faith you are. It's very interesting to me, you know, that is. I wonder, wow, these stories are stories composed into one book from all different eras in the world, you know, from different time frames rather. And, you know, when you open up to the first page, and, you know, right after the first paragraph, basically the beginning of the second paragraph, you know, what is said there? And God said, "Let there be light." Let there be light. And, you know, light can mean a lot of things, but universally, everybody knows what light means. And it's bringing light to something, seeing something, illuminating, guiding. And I also was able to print out some beautiful words regarding light. And this is something that was found also. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. And though our wise shall not shine like the brightness of the skies above, and turn many to righteousness like the stars forever and eve, the path of righteous is like the light of dawn, which shine brighter and brighter until the full day. While light itself is not divine, it is often used metaphorically for life, salvation, the commandments, and the divine presence of God, whatever that may be to someone. Like I mentioned in on my other episodes, something created us, regardless what religion or denomination you were raised. There is something greater than us. Again, the mysteries of life. And in the creative act, God saw that light was good. So, I wanted to share that and maybe, ponder upon light and, where can you shine your light on? Like the good word said, your word is a lamp. And, maybe you could shine your light on somebody who's in the dark. So I also want to share a beautiful poem because today's about sharing. And like I said, I'm going to share a little bit about me. And I personally fell in love with this poem. I happen to believe in the afterlife, but that's okay if you don't. It's still a beautiful poem to ponder on. So the poem is called When Tomorrow Starts Without Me, the book Proof of Heaven. And it's revolutionary, written by Dr. Eben Alexander, who was a neurosurgeon who once believed there was no life after death, and he thought it was impossible. And now through his experience, and you have to read the book to learn about his experience, he was able to prove to himself and scientifically, because there is hypotenuse in the end of the book, proving scientifically that indeed there is life after death. And you know what? If you don't believe, we could only hope. So as you read this book, you'll find this bittersweet poem, but you could also find it without having to, buy the book. But I thought the book was very inspirational. If you are missing somebody who passed away and you're wondering, like, what is life after death? So here goes the poem, and I'm going to get through it, hopefully with no tears. When tomorrow starts without me, and I'm not here to see, if the sun should rise and find your eyes are all filled with tears for me, I wish you wouldn't cry the way you did today, while thinking of the many things we didn't get to say. I know how much you love me, as much as I love you. Each time that you think of me, I know I'll miss you too. The angel said my place was ready in heaven far above, and that I would have to leave behind all those I dearly love. But when I walked through heaven's gates, I felt so much at home when God looked down and smiled at me from his golden throne. He said, "This is eternity, and all I promised you. Today for life on earth is done, but here it starts anew. I promised no tomorrow, for today will always last. And since each day's the exact same way, there's no longing for the past. So when tomorrow starts without me, don't think we're apart. For every time you think of me, remember, I'm right here in your heart." And that poem was written by David M. Romano. I will be sharing it on my social, and I will be sharing a link to the book where you could also find in the menu page on missugram.com under inspirational books. We also appreciate any support to our mission. Everyone wants to be remembered. And you could use the platform not only to pay a tribute to your lost loved ones, but maybe something that your lost loved one taught you. And maybe they were a mentor to you, and you want to share that with the world. So here are some of our merchandise if you want to support us. This is our company slogan, everyone wants to be remembered. We also have cozy warm t-shirts, and here's one of them, and we do have multiple colors, but I basically have the basic colors. We have some bright colors too, but here we go. And we are a prosper for purpose company, so we do like to donate to charities. And with that, I want to say happy International Women's Day. And I am going to read a poem from a woman, Anne Frank. She was a famous, well-known young girl who they found her diaries because, you know, of her denomination of religion, being Jewish, and you know, the Nazis trying to, you know, kill anybody Jewish at the time, and they went into hiding, and finally they were captured, and unfortunately she passed away at an early age. But she wrote beautiful things in this diary, and I'm going to share one of her quotes. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. Anne Frank. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope I was able to help enlighten or at least put a smile on your face. Thank you, and join us next week. Bye-bye.